Blog Talk Radio.
Marble, we call Earth in whatever city you may live in. Welcome to episode 66 of the VWU Sports Podcast, and happy Valentine's Day! Hope you are enjoying your fine day with your fans, your family, and the ones you love. And thank you for joining us here at the bar. Of course, I am one of the main bartenders of this shindig, Jacob. I'm being joined, as always, by my good friends Brandon and Carter, and of course our regular Cody is here. We will have Jose come in later on when he can. But gentlemen, let's kick it off simple enough because, ladies and gentlemen, once again we have a new NFL champion. Congratulations, one and all, to the Kansas City Chiefs, winning their third Super Bowl title in their franchise history, defeating the Philadelphia Eagles in what was arguably one of the best Super Bowls we have seen in the modern era.
Well, I'll tell you guys, that was a classic. Basically, what we saw was a classic. And somehow, some way, Patrick Mahomes, even though he wasn't at 100%, he carried the team to another Super Bowl title. That's the reason how come he's the regular season MVP and Super Bowl MVP. What a magnificent performance he put on Sunday night.
First time since Kurt Warner back when we had the greatest show on turf did it back in 1999.
But
absolutely,
there's one good thing about the Patrick Mahomes win. He got a WWE championship.
Ignoring that, but unfortunately, with all as good as the game was, unfortunately there was some blemishes that kind of ruined the magic that was Super Bowl 57.
Yeah.
Well, first, let's talk about grass.
I think, first of all, let's go ahead and talk about that grass. That grass was a mess.
Here's what we know about this. Apparently, it was a new. Apparently, State Farm Stadium decided to put in some new sod for the young grass, which was what, $800,000 to make
$800,000.
And everything was fine, but unfortunately, when it came down to game time, it was so slippery it looked like they were playing on ice.
It went to shit.
I thought for a moment there they was getting ready to play hockey for a moment there because it was sliding all over the place.
People were slipping. There was a lot of shoes that had to be carted.
Yeah, the Turf Monster was having a field day, at the Super Bowl, and honestly, it could have been a whole lot worse because we could have seen Patrick Mahomes get carted out with a broken ankle with that turf. You know.
I mean, all season we've only been talking about how the grass is so bad, the turf was so bad. Well, NFL just said, "Oh, you want grass? Be careful what you fucking wish for."
That's not grass. That's turf. The worst kind of way.
If anything, if they want to move to I feel like the NFL needs to have like a rules mandate to make sure to update that. Like, you can have turf, but you got to have it set to to a percentage where it's mostly real grass with a little bit of plastic mixed in a little bit, so at least make it a little bit less slippery.
There was a lot of slipping. Patrick Mahomes almost had his almost saying reenactment of what happened to his ankle.
Let me interject because I think still, especially some of these stadiums, they're getting ready to have go artificial grass in about 3 years when the World Cup is coming to town. So I think that some of these stadiums are going to go natural grass soon, to get ready for the World Cup. But seeing players slipping and sliding out there is a little bit disappointing. But let's give credit to where credit is due. First of all, while the rest of us is riding the L train, Jacob and our friend Louie is riding the W train all the way to the bank. Because
I'm saying this now and forever more. If that game doesn't tell you to never, ever, 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 ever put any doubt or bet against Patrick Master Chief Mahomes, I don't know what will. He went into that game with a damn near broken fucking ankle. Got into the first half, re-injured it. Went into the second half. Came out in the second half. Told Andy Reid, put me in, coach. He went in there and had a game to remember and won MVP honors. then you need to get your head out of your ass.
I think also, gentlemen, let's also give credit to where credit's due, because we saw out there how especially Kadarius Toney scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl, which I gotta get the fan that kind of pissed off Giants fans out there. But
hang on, it not only pissed off Giants fans. Remember when I talked about the whole Texas fans are fucking crazy?
Well,
I seen one tweet that a Philadelphia Eagles fan broke a TV.
Hold on, Cody, you're jumping all over us again. I gotta bring in a caller. Let me go ahead and bring on good old caller on in. Come on in.
Thanks, guys.
Come on in.
Welcome back. And I know you and I are going to be riding the WW train for making the right choice, picking Patrick Mahomes over the Eagles.
Hey, I picked the Chiefs too. What the hell?
That's a special TV set.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
As we talk about the Chiefs winning, there is a.
Hold on, Cody. Let me also, and I know Cody brought this up. This is the perfect season. A lot of folks are going off to Best Buy to get some new TVs.
Yeah.
Because, as Cody brought up, that was an Eagles fan. I guess he was watching the game. He didn't like the way how it goes, and he destroyed his TV.
There was a watch party going on.
Yeah,
he knows how Cowboys fans feel.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of those videos you have seen on TikTok, on Twitter, and social media, 9 times out of 10, those are what we call staged reactions. Okay.
Yeah. That's one way of looking at it.
And another thing is simple. And simple.
I seriously thought they're willing to burn their money, Jacob, but some
and honestly, sometimes if you see true, genuine reactions of people smashing shit, it's either because of 2 reasons: A, their favorite team lost, which we have seen with Cowboys fans, or B, they decided to make the age-old mistake of putting money on it.
Oh,
well,
nice.
in Philadelphia, they're diehard Eagles fans.
Yeah, but either way, there is a lesson to this. It's like if you decide to put money on it, you better realize you're basically flipping a coin of either you're going to come out with money or you're going to be losing a lot of money.
I mean, Hit did put money on the Eagles.
No, it was there's a difference. That was a friendly bet, meaning that he probably did it with like his dad or something. And it was like small change. I'm talking about the guys who put like maybe like 10 large on the game, figure they're becoming out millionaires. And
if I can say about this for the Super Bowl,
hold on. Let me say something real quick. Now, like I said, it was a great Super Bowl, but there's one part of the Super Bowl which I saw that still has me scratching my head. And before I bring it up, I want to bring up something Roger Goodell said just a couple of days ago.
When you look at officiating, I don't think it's ever been better in the league. There are over 42,000 plays in a season. Multiple infractions could occur on any play. Take that out and extrapolate that. That's hundreds, if not millions, of potential fouls. And our officials do an extraordinary job of getting those. Are there mistakes in the context of that? Yes. They are not perfect, and officiating never will. But we've also had, obviously, replay and other aspects that help us address those issues to make sure they're not something that we can't correct on the field. Communications between our office, that is not the case. In the championship game, that was stopped appropriately because the clock was running by an official on the field. That happens frequently in our game. That's not an unusual thing to have that happen. So, again, we want to go back and look at the facts. We may not disagree. We may not agree with every TV announcer or every officiating expert, but we think our officials are doing a great job. But we're always going to look through our competition committee and everything else we have, how we improve our officiating. But it will never be perfect.
You say your officiating is good. We, as fans, beg to differ.
Yeah, because Carter put it up basically. The game was amazing. In fact, it almost broke the record for most points scored in a Super Bowl, almost taking out Super Bowl 29's record of 72 points, in which San Francisco 49ers clapped the San Diego Chargers on that one. But there was one little incident that kind of ruined it, and I only
holding call.
Yeah, the holding call, in which I can't remember who was the man who caused the penalty.
James Bradbury the fourth.
Yeah.
Thank you. Basically, we all saw it. He barely touched the running back in question, which was running back in question when he was bursting toward about to head to the house, and somehow, some way, ref ball came into play and said that was holding.
I think I've seen a lot of people on social media. They're pissed. They were rightfully pissed.
Last I checked,
holding call.
Last I checked on the holding call, even Patrick Mahomes was calling it.
Hold on, I'm going to actually look up the rules itself from the NFL from the NFL football operations, and this is and I'm going to read. This is straight from the video rule book, and it says, and I quote: uses to consider holding in the NFL. It says he uses hands or arms to materially restrict an opponent or alter a defender's path or angle of pursuit. It is a foul regardless of whether the blocker's hands are inside or outside the frame of the defender's body.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a holding.
Well, let me just say this real quick. This has not, and let's be honest with ourselves, this has not been a good season for officials.
Yep.
Especially, we have seen throughout this season ref ball happening over and over and over again. We saw
over and over.
The most used like penalty was like roughing the passer or
Yeah. Yeah, Falcons fans could attest to that because even though their defensive lineman had a clean textbook sack on Tom Brady, ref ball decided, no, you touched Tom Brady. You don't do that. 15 yards.
Yeah, here's the thing. I see the agenda here. They assume you're supposed to cuddle the quarterback. You're supposed to walk him gently. You're supposed to make sure he gets a happy ending. Anything less than that, we're going to throw a flag at you. But it's a hand scratches.
Now, I will give Goodell credit. He admits that it's not perfect, okay? Which, honestly, he hits the nail on the head. But the fact that he's trying to cover it up so hard is laughable at best because we know it's wrong. We know it's messed up. We know it's fraudulent because, unfortunately, you got humans, i.e., humans, doing the officiating, and they will fuck up calls. Okay.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen in the NFL. It happens to Major League Baseball. It happens in the NHL. It happens even in the NBA, and so on and so on. Okay.
Yeah. As I say, Jacob, I think the word you're looking for was that Roger Goodell was tone deaf.
Like he sees it, but he doesn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, I think that obviously and honestly, I'll be honest with you all, because I think you said his name was Granberry?
James Bradbury the fourth.
Yeah.
James Bradbury the fourth.
Now,
the man
he admitted that it was holding. Now, if I was conspiracy theorist, I would say sure he's saying that because he don't want to get fined. But but even though it wasn't a holding call. I get he's trying to be an honorable man, but honestly, there's a difference between being honorable and being afraid of getting fined. Okay. Mhm. But overall, though, give credit to where it's due. Also, Jalen Hurts. I got a feeling he's going to come back to the Super Bowl. He's going to be back.
Hell to the yeah. I mean, look.
And
I'll say this. Let me talk about Hurts for a second. I'll say this. Give Hurts credit. It was his first Super Bowl. Okay, he had butterflies in his stomach the size of eagles, and he made one mistake. That happens. Okay, don't get on him for that. Okay, like I said, it was his first ever Super Bowl as a starting quarterback. Okay, he's never had that. The last time he had a chance of being in a high pressure situation like that was when he was with Alabama in the national championship game when he got benched for Tua.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's never been in this high pressure of a situation. But
there was one thing that did happen in the Super Bowl that Jacob was pissed at, and that was the fumble controversy.
But thankfully, I did realize that he did have two of the three for a catch, which was he did have control of the football and he was planted on the ground. One thing I forgot, he did not do a football motion.
Mm-hmm. And
that was the key.
Yeah, that's what I said. Let me just say this real quick. Like I said, Jalen Hurts is not going to be like, Dan Marino, who went to one Super Bowl and that's it. And you've seen other QBs that went to only one Super Bowl and that's it. But I think Jalen Hurts, he's going to be back. He's going to be back. The Eagles team is stacked. I think that they have the talent to make another run, even though their coordinators have gone on to be head coaches. One's going off to Indianapolis. May God have mercy on his soul. The other one is going off to Arizona. May God have mercy on his soul. But overall, though, I think that the Eagles have what it takes to possibly go back to the Super Bowl next year. I think that's exactly what could happen.
Well, speaking of the Super Bowl, next year it will go to Allegiant Stadium and CBS Sports.
Yep. Super Bowl 58. We'll be staying in the desert, but going upstate to Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. We don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. Let's quickly run down what's been going on in the off season because honestly, we got a lot to talk about and not a lot of time to work with. Big news in the NFL, especially unfortunately for Raiders fans. Sorry, Ray, but the autumn fart has done it. He has officially released Derek Carr. He is now a free agent in the NFL, and best believe there's going to be a lot of teams licking their chops to go after Derek Carr because here's the thing. You may think that Derek Carr is a lost cause, but you have to realize he's a great quarterback. He just had horrible management.
I mean, rumors of him going to the Saints are possible.
Yeah, but the problem is a lot of teams would love it, but unfortunately, I got two words for you: cap hell.
Yeah, I was about to say, let me say this real quick because Derek Carr is a great QB. He's a good QB. The problem is that he had to change his playing style because of the constant changing of coaches.
The revolving door of offensive coordinators and head coaches.
Jack Del Rio, John Gruden, the interim head coach, and now Josh McDaniels.
Yep.
I mean,
and others to blame for that one.
Yep. That autumn fart idiot who doesn't.
Raiders are screwed because Josh McDaniels cannot be fired.
No, they are stuck with him. But I'll say this: aside from those who would love to get him but can't do the cap thing, i.e., Buccaneers, Saints, and a lot of other teams, will be a perfect spot for Derek Carr to make the change to.
I mean, Buccaneers would be a good choice, especially now that
Cody, here's the thing.
Cody, do my words go in one ear and out the other? I said the Buccaneers are in cap hell.
Yeah, I was about to say, Jacob said it. We're $55 million over the cap.
In the red. They're in cap hell with our Saints.
I've always said to myself, we're going to be the NFL's vacuum cleaner because, my God, are we going to suck. But
I was going to say my only choice is possibly the Jets, but then again, they have their own problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Jets are trying to get Aaron Rodgers.
Even he did his 4-day darkness.
Yeah, look, I'll say this, okay? There's a lot of good spots Derek Carr can work with, and there's a lot of teams that can work with his style, okay? Possibly we could see him go to Seattle. I don't know if that would work because they got a good quarterback in Geno Smith. Possibly we could see him in Green Bay, but then again, it's Mike McCarthy, I'm saying.
Ain't Packers in cap hell too?
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking about off-season cap hell, let's talk about Tom Brady. He is doing his broadcasting career in 2024.
Yes, he is.
What?
He is finally retiring, but I'm
Greg?
still not believing it because we've seen this happen before last season. And guess what happened?
Well, there may be reports about it because Greg Olson's salary will be reduced from $10 million to $3 million once Tom Brady begins his broadcasting career on the network.
Oh God.
Here's the thing. Let me say something. Yeah, let me say something. Because honestly, if I'm Greg Olson, I just walk because
just walk. It's not
he
worth
did a great job as the commentator for that Super Bowl, and he shouldn't make room for anyone. I don't care if his name is Tom Brady. He shouldn't make room for anyone because he earned that spot, and he did a great job as one of the commentators for Fox. And here's the thing.
He did great at the Super Bowl. Okay.
And here's the thing. You have to understand that he had some major shoes to fill when Troy Aikman left with Joe Buck over to be over at Monday Night Football, and he did a great job.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to gloss this over as quick as possible. The Arizona Cardinals. Well, I guess the Eagles are starting to do their the usual thing you always see in Super Bowl things, barn sale. Defensive coordinator, let me get his full name. You'll see Jonathan Gannon will be now going down to Arizona as their defensive coordinator, as their head coach.
Huh.
And I'm also talking about the Chiefs for one thing because there is one Chiefs player that is calling it a retirement. Oh God, I'm hearing a lot of screaming in my fucking ears.
Yeah.
Chad S. Henry is calling it a career.
Honestly. Yeah. A lot of So it's safe to say we're going to be seeing a lot of crazy things this offseason. We'll keep up to it as much as we can as we get through it. Let's go switch gears here because we're going to go to the ice a bit because we are in the second half of the 2022-2023 season. All-Star break has finished. And now we get to have the real fun. It's time for playoff pushes.
Yep. Now.
And we got a lot of games going on as we speak tonight. Up in Montreal at Le Centre Bell. It is at the end of the first period. It's the battle of the original six, Chicago and Montreal. Montreal lead 1-0 heading the first intermission.
Yeah. Also heading into the first intermission, go to the nation's capital for Carolina and the Capitals.
Yep. I do believe that is their Stadium Series game, or are they at
They're at the Capital One Center.
Okay.
The Capital One Arena.
And throughout the ice, there is something going on March 14th.
We'll get to that shortly, Cody. Hold your horse.
Relax.
Continue on, Cody.
Fine. Geez, sorry.
Shit, stop trying to run the show. Anyways, continuing on. Got a couple games just started. Up in New York at UBS Arena, the Islanders taking on the Senators. That game just started in the first period, still scoreless.
Also starting in the first period, going into Ohio as the Devils go up to Columbus to face the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, man, we got a lot of games coming up. In fact, puck drop is about to happen about less than 10 minutes. Up in Winnipeg at Bell MTS, the Jets pay host to the Kraken. That's the Kraken. And coming up also in St. Louis at the Enterprise Center, the Blues play host to the Panthers.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Lobo is keeping his eyes on Dallas Stars because they're playing host to the Boston Bruins.
For the leading Boston Bruins, puck drop at around 7:30.
That is going to be a great game.
Puck drop at 7:30 over in Big D. Later on tonight at 8 o'clock at Ball Arena, the reigning champion Avalanche play host to the Lightning. It is a rematch from their Stanley Cup Finals. That's going to get ugly.
No kidding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of things getting ugly, we're heading up to the tank.
It's a rematch from, I do believe, a couple of years ago when their Stanley Cup final is the Penguins and the Sharks over at the SAP Center in San Jose.
Oh, yeah, in the tank.
Yeah, San Jose's not having a good season so far.
No, they are not. As we take a look at the standings so far, starting off with the East, like I said, it is still Boston's division to lose. They are still running the top of the table in the Atlantic division.
Yeah, but hold on, Jacob. Let me interrupt for a second because that's one team in which we glanced over, and that's the team from the MSG. The New York Rangers have won 5 straight ball games. 5 straight. And they're only 8 points behind the Carolina Hurricanes for first place in the Metro.
That's the 6 in the Metro. Yeah, they are just 6 points behind the Canes, and the Devils are just 3 points right behind them. New York would love to see New Jersey and Carolina take a bullet in the L train and get within close striking distance of taking the Metro. Meanwhile, in the Atlantic, it is still Boston's division to lose. They still got a nearly 10-point lead over Toronto in the Atlantic Division, with Tampa Bay, Florida, and almost everybody in the Atlantic Division trying to catch up.
Yeah. Well, when we look at the West, it's a different story.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Starting in the Central Division, as stated, Lobo's got to have his eyes peeled on the Central Division because Winnipeg needs a win here tonight, and Dallas to bite one to tie with them in the Central Division. Minnesota's looking at Minnesota, Colorado, and Nashville are trying to play catch up with St. Louis on the outside, very much on the outside looking in.
Yeah, and look at the Pacific here. It's a 5-team horse race.
Yeah, in the Pacific Division, and the difference is unbelievable. It is nearly just you can literally count on one hand how close the 5 teams are for the top of the list. In the
7-point spread between 1 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm keeping my eyes on the Blackhawks.
Yeah,
Why you keep your eyes on the Blackhawks? They're sitting dead last.
They're dead. It's dead, Hagen. Why are you keeping your eyes on them?
I live near the Indiana-Chicago line, okay?
Okay. Okay, fair enough. That's fair.
You
live
in the territory. We understand.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah. So basically, the East, we're starting to see the chess pieces being set up for the East. Meanwhile, the West, there's literally a Wild West shootout going on in both divisions there. No?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, but
let me ask you all this question. Do you see anyone stopping the Boston Bruins at this point?
The only way the Boston Bruins is mess this up is they do what they usually do and become the boys' club. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only way Boston screws this up. That's okay because you got Tampa Bay and Toronto ready to start nipping at their heels, and they're only lost like 8 games so far in their season, but they already lost 1 game so far. If they start getting a losing streak, then you better start opening your eyes to the Atlantic.
Yeah, I mean it's just that like we said, now the All-Star break is over. Now it's time to start separating the men from the boys. It's time for us to figure out who has what it takes to go to the long haul, because
it's time for the contenders to show and the pretenders to go.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Would it be a Wild West shoot-up instead of a tumbleweed? It's a block of ice.
Yeah.
What I have to. This joke was right there.
Yeah, well, anyways, moving on. Let's head to the courts for a little bit. Starting off.
Hold on, Jacob. Let's stick to the NHL for one more story. That's what Carter was bringing up. What's going on with on March the 14th with Disney doing? I think ABC and Disney doing a game featuring the Capitals and the Rangers.
It's a Disney Channel thing. They're doing a little collab.
So basically,
they saw what Nickelodeon was doing with the NFL and was like, this might be a good idea. Let's try the NHL and see what are we doing.
Mm-hmm. So basically, they're using this off from one of the Disney shows. I think something's the word green in it.
I'm looking.
City Greens. Big City Greens Classic.
Yeah.
Between the Rangers and the Capitals, with characters from the Big City Greens.
Oh,
okay. Boy.
Well, at least the good news is that this won't be a paintball, so
Yep. But we are talking about the core. There is a lot going on in the Western and the Eastern Conference.
Well, hold on, Corey. First of all, I need to bring in another caller.
Boy.
Secondly,
I know you guys never forgot about me.
A man who hates the Denver Broncos the most.
Welcome in, Jose. Jose.
Odie, good Lord. Let's shift gears to the NBA. Head on out to the court.
Let's start with the show. Whoa! Hey, how you doing?
Hey. Okay, someone's watching us on the road all of a sudden. Yeah, I don't know what the hell.
The window's open. We're 15 cars.
I'm just about to
Before
I know.
It's
a big hold up.
Yeah, we got to talk about the TV rights.
Will you shut up? Shut up, Cody. Shut up. One more time, I'm going to cut you off. Let's talk about the big trade that happened last week.
More specifically to one Brooklyn Nets, because not only did they lose Kyrie Irving, they also lost Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant was traded to the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
I mean, the Islanders did one good thing. They called in a stink removal.
No. You see, this is honestly. Remember what I said about this being a no-win situation?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is a three-way no-win situation here.
Mm-hmm.
Between Phoenix, not just Phoenix and Brooklyn, Dallas as well.
Yeah, because Dallas gets the cancer known as Kyrie Irving, while Phoenix gets the snake known as Kevin Durant.
And now Ben Simmons just there in Brooklyn by himself.
Yep. Bunch of young rookies. Welcome to the tank, Brooklyn. Hope you enjoy your stay.
Brandon did talk about a three-way tie that's nowhere to go. There is actually rights to TV rights for the NBA.
Really?
There's a three-way between Amazon, Apple, and NBC Sports. They want to keep the NBA.
Hold on. I saw that story. Apparently, in a couple of years, the NBA is going to start negotiating the contracts of who's going to air their games. Who's going to air their games.
Here's my personal take on this. It can't be Amazon because you've seen how well Thursday Night Football went out with them.
Yeah.
By well, you mean. So it's either going to be Apple TV or NBC Sports. Honestly, NBC Sports, yes, because honestly, we haven't had the NBA on NBC since the 90s. I mean, who doesn't love Round Ball Rock?
Absolutely. Plus, we don't want to give Apple more of our money if they're expecting shit. Also, these cards are pissing me off.
Well, here's the thing, and
I mean, we are in a bar.
I'm going to leave Jose finish behind, but here's the thing.
Sorry.
And I think that obviously, I love the NBA when it was on NBC and the Round Ball Rock, the Michael Jordan years. I mean,
during the dynasty, that was the Chicago Bulls.
So, but I think that question is, who's going to make the deal? The question is, how's ABC, ESPN going to
I feel like
that's a good question.
That is a good question. I feel like if Adam Silver is smart, which he said he is, here's how he would do it. Like, he'll have some games, like some early week games will go to like maybe ABC, ESPN. Some games, afternoon games will go to ABC, ESPN. That mid-afternoon, late evening will go to probably NBC. And then you got the primetime games. That'll go definitely to TNT because, come on, you cannot not love inside the NBA. Come on.
I think I have an idea. I think I have an idea. Give me a sec. Give me a moment, Jose, because I think I got an idea. What if the NBA does what MLB does? They have like Peacock airing their Sunday afternoon games.
I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. And if you got Apple TV working with you, you can stream some of those games on there as well. Because Apple TV is on their fair share of MLB games. That can work as well.
For Amazon, I mean, they only stream their
Amazon.
on Twitch.
No. I feel like no.
Amazon's a waste.
We don't want
anything but
night
Amazon.
football. We don't want Thursday night basketball. You really can't have it Thursday night because that's TNT.
No.
Yeah.
If
they choose Amazon, it'd be a nuclear option.
Yeah.
No. I don't think I can't take. I was about to say I can't take Al McMichael and Kirk Herbstreit talking NBA. I can't do that. I can't take that.
Yeah, just no. Yeah. We're gonna switch. We're gonna stay with the NBA. We're gonna talk about some games that's already in progress as we speak. We're getting closer and closer to All-Star Week, and everybody loves All-Star Week with the NBA.
Yeah, both games had just started. They're in the second quarter. Toronto up 8 against up 8 against Orlando up in the Air Canada Center.
And also on TNT in the second quarter, we got a good one going down in Milwaukee as the Bucks and the Celtics are just dueling it out. 2-point game with the Siege over the Bucks with 10 minutes of change left in the half.
Yeah.
And the games that are coming over on TNT.
Yeah. Some of the games that are comment up, and both of them.
Wait. Settle down, gentlemen, one at a time.
I just remembered something that we need to talk about because this has happened last week. Ladies and gentlemen, we can now officially say this: the King takes his throne. Congratulations, LeBron James, on doing the unthinkable, doing what we thought would never happen, and break the captain Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record of all-time points with the Lakers. Unfortunately, they could not get the job done against OKC, but nevertheless, King James is now stands alone with all-time points.
I'll just say what the commenter said. LeBron stands alone as the king.
Indeed. And honestly,
however,
you know what that moment reminds me of? Back in 1995. Back in 1995 when Cal Ripken Jr. broke Lou Gehrig's record for consecutive games in MLB's history. We all thought nobody would ever catch that record, but Cal Ripken said, "No, I'm doing this."
And he did it
hold
in
my
Baltimore.
beer.
He did it at home in Baltimore, just like how James did it at home in the Staples Center with Kareem in the building watching on. It was a moment that'll never be that might never happen. And basically, I said this. It's something that Kobe couldn't do, Jordan couldn't do, Bird couldn't do. A lot of Hall of Famers could not catch up to Kareem in that skyhook, but King James did it.
And they had to pause the game.
Hold on, Cody.
Shut up.
Hold on, Cody. Would you guys put LeBron James at the very top as the greatest of all time?
Fuck yeah.
Honestly, I feel like he is. Honestly, he may not have as many rings as the late Bill Russell, God rest his soul. He might catch Michael Jordan rings, but honestly, his stats speak for themselves. Honestly, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
go ahead, Jose. I think you want to say something. I thought you
I
were going to say something. But
I think we have some connection issues for the Jose.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
we also have. Let me go back to our schedule. We got the Kings and the Suns coming up later on this evening at the Footprint Center. Yeah. Let's think about the Suns for a second.
I do have something to say.
Oh.
Go ahead, Jose.
It's about what you said about having King James at the top of being the best of all time. Here's my only problem: when you're at the top, it's lonely. Sooner or later, it's gonna start getting lonely. I'm just saying.
Well,
there will be a lot of younger talent.
Anyways.
Yeah, let me speak about the Suns for a second because now, like I said, there's a new big three out west because now you got Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and Kevin Durant.
You gotta wonder how the hell are those three gonna gel because there's gonna be a little bit of a clash of egos like how he was because you remember last time Kevin Durant was in the Pacific Division.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
I'll be looking forward to seeing the Suns take on the Warriors later on this season.
Man.
Well, my friend talking
about
the
Warriors.
Yeah, I was
speaking
gonna
of
say.
The Warriors, they're gonna play against the Clippers coming up later on this evening.
Over at the Staples Center, you will not make me say that. I don't care how much you pay me.
Tomorrow we got a rematch. The Bulls will take on the Pacers.
Hold on, I still got one more game, Cody.
We still got one more game. Still on prime time.
Up Portland going play host to the Washington Wizards.
Let me say something real quick because Damian Lillard is basically carrying the Trailblazers at this point.
That's what
Wherever
it is.
He goes, the team goes with him.
That's what it basically is. And honestly, it's a shame because he's a hell of an athlete. But the problem is, unfortunately, he does not have enough star power to help push the Trailblazers to that next level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to that playoff level.
To possibly being a ring level,
Yeah,
because they can do it, but they just need a little bit more star power,
Now, here's the thing, and I was looking over at the standings, and I was saying to myself, thanks to all these trades that happened, because hey, the Lakers, they were willing and dealing too. They didn't stay still. They didn't stay tied. Matter of fact, they traded Russell Westbrook to I forgot what team they traded him to.
They traded to Minnesota.
Yeah, they traded him to the Timberwolves.
So now I think that the Western Conference itself is just completely loaded at this point. And Utah has the last play-in spot, and Portland is like, they're basically tied with. I got some bad news for the Pelicans because Zion Williamson is going to be out a little bit longer.
Yeah, unfortunately, Zion is injured, and it couldn't have come to a worse time for us. As we take a look at the standings, Memphis still holds on to the Southwest, but now there's a new contender in the house, and their names is the Dallas Mavericks. They are now 4.5 right behind the Grizzlies. New Orleans just half a game right behind Dallas.
Meanwhile, for the Eastern Conference, the Pacers are fucked.
Yeah, the Pacers are sitting fourth in the Central Division, losing nine of 10 in their last. So, and they are now 15.5 behind Milwaukee. Meanwhile, it is becoming a 2-horse race in the Central Division between the Bucks and the Cavs. Cavs now just 3 games right behind them. Meanwhile, in the Atlantic Division, we can say it's a different story because now it's now back to a 2-horse race between Philadelphia. The 76ers are 3.5 games right behind Boston. Boston going 7 for 10 out of their last 10 matchups.
I was going to say, I wouldn't count out Brooklyn just yet because
they might surprise you. You never know. They're still there because maybe that trade has put some benefits. You never know. In the Southeast, it is a different story. We got 3, possibly 4 horses in that race. With Miami still in the lead, but Atlanta and Washington are nipping at their heels.
I'm taking a look at the conference standings, and Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Look, the Cavs, Bucks, Celtics. Look at the streak that they're in.
Yeah, Cavs are 8 for 2. Bucks just went a perfect 10 straight wins with them, and it's something else honestly in the Eastern Conference, and it's safe to say, and also you got to keep your eyes open on the play-in side of the playoffs as we take a look. Yeah, New York still holds on to the 7th seed, but they got Atlanta, Toronto, and the Wizards catching up to them.
So that's true. So let's not forget they might get number 6 if they knock down Miami.
True. If they knock out Miami, they have a shot.
Question. Is it too early to predict who will win the NBA championship?
I go with that. I think it's too early because honestly, you don't know what could happen.
Yeah, as we're getting close to March Madness.
Speaking of March Madness, we better get ready to go to college. But before we go to college,
because we may be halfway through February, but that doesn't say the madness isn't kicking up hard and heavy.
Over the weekend, let me say something real quick, because over the weekend we have seen way more than our fair share of upsets, gentlemen. In fact, man, the upset train started Friday when Xavier went down in Butler.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it was crazy that the fans were ready to bum rush the court right before even the final horn sounded.
Now, let me say something real quick about that game because most people was saying that Xavier got screwed. Now that goaltending call at the end of the game was
that is literally on the razor's edge of goaltending because we all saw the clip, we all saw the play. That was very, 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 very close to the goaltending.
It could have gone either way. To be honest with you, it could have gone either way. But Butler won the game, and they won the game 69-67.
Yeah,
nice.
That's what we call a traditional. That's what we call a traditional college basketball game.
Saturday. Let me run through this because we have some upsets. Stanford, the Cardinal beat Arizona 88-79. Arizona's number 4 team in the country. Yeah, I mean, and Missouri beat Tennessee in a buzzer beater, 86-85. This is the second straight game Tennessee loses a game to a buzzer beater.
It hurts, but if you're on the side that takes a dub, it is the most beautiful sensation you could ever have in your life. But if you're on the other side of the side, it hurts. That's what we call a gut punch.
No, that's not a gut punch. That's a stab in the heart.
Yeah, I got a couple for you. Oklahoma State defeated Iowa State, who was number 11 in the country, 64-56, while Texas Tech defeated Kansas State, who was number 12 in the country, 71-63. I mean,
I'm safe to say this season, 2022-2023, might actually set a record for most upsets in a season in Division I basketball.
Oh, you want to talk about
I'm not done yet. I got more.
No, we ain't done. We're just getting started.
St. John defeated Providence 73-68 Saturday, and Creighton defeated UConn 56-53 Saturday, and Illinois defeated Rutgers, who's number 24 in the country. They defeated Rutgers 69-60. Nice.
And then
down Carter.
Yeah, let me have my own turn. Oh, my Indiana Hoosiers are having a bit of a fun time, aren't we, boys? Both the women's and the men's both men's defeated Michigan barely by 60-61, and the Hoosier women's beat it 83-69.
It was
83-69.
Sheesh. Safe to say, Hoosier Nation might be seeing something they haven't thought they've never seen. That's both sides of college basketball making it to the national tournament. That's a lot.
Women's are first in the Big Ten. The Hoosier men's are second, next to the Purdue.
Yeah, and you talked about this. Purdue and Indiana are going to have the rematch later on this month.
This Sunday, upcoming Sunday for the women's
this Sunday they're going to have the rematch, and if Indiana takes out Purdue again, they're going to be number one in the Big Ten with a chance to have a big spot in their conference.
What's for the women's side and for the Indiana
let's
side?
Before we go too far ahead, let's focus on tonight's games on the hall.
Oh yeah, we got a couple games.
Good ones here.
There was one college basketball game that got postponed. Saturday.
Yeah, we have to talk about that. Unfortunately, Michigan State's Raiders game was going to happen tonight, but unfortunately, due to what happened last night, they had to postpone because last night, I know if y'all heard about this in the news.
Yeah,
last night,
it's all the news.
We had a shooting happen in Michigan at Michigan State, and left 5 dead and a lot wounded.
Yeah. 5.
No,
dead.
3 dead and 5 injured.
I just want to say this because I just want to say this. I know we're not supposed to be political, but this is making me sick. I can't be the only one that's getting sick and tired every time I turn on the TV. We got another shooting taking place over here. We have another shooting taking place over there. Another school is stuff for another shooting. I said to myself, I can't be the only one that's sick and tired seeing this.
You're not.
I am.
A lot of us are upset the fact that of all this is happening of all these school shootings. Now school shootings that's been happening nationwide.
Nothing's going to be done.
And it sucks.
They're going to try. But let's move on.
Yeah, let's gloss over it. Let's get back to
let's get back to the game.
Nice some games going on here as the 18-ranked Creighton take on the new 24-ranked. It's Providence.
Yeah, we got a tight game going on over on FS1. 13 minutes left in the ball game. 1-point game. Providence leads over Creighton.
Yeah, and
that's why I said keep a close eye on that game because it's like as if this game is going back and forth.
Indeed.
Look at Syracuse.
Yeah, Big Orange is giving a good fight to the Wolfpack of NC State. 7-point game with 2 minutes to change left in the second half.
Anymore. It's 50-49.
Oh, yeah. You keep your eyes out on these two.
Yeah, and here's another thing, too. NC State is 23 ranked.
Yeah, but like Jose, you've called it. When we get to February, the madness begins. So unfortunately, it started back in January.
Yeah. We got a couple more games coming up this evening.
Yes,
we got Kansas
Oklahoma
and Oklahoma State. And we got
Oklahoma
Kansas State and Oklahoma.
Both games will be going off on ESPN and ESPNU. Best believe you want to keep your ears on the ground for those two games. We're going to switch it up because we need to talk about this. Let's get to the women's side because I called it. We had ourselves a heavyweight title fight in Columbia.
Yep.
Yeah, and unfortunately, my Lady Tigers had to bite the bullet as the Gamecocks take the big dub over LSU on that LSU. 88-64 was the final.
Yeah, I said, you losing your word. Are you losing your words over there, Jacob?
I'm upset, but honestly, I'm not. Because South Carolina proved that they deserve to be at the top of the SEC and the polls. And honestly, I'm not mad. We're still in second place in the SEC. We still got a good chance to make a good run in the tournaments. We just got a lot of we got a lot of kinks to get rid of before the main event starts. You know.
Mm-hmm. You don't care about South Carolina going in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
They're 25-0.
Yeah, perfect. And before we take a look at the scores because they have only had two games that just happened. And Cody, you did bring this up. Your Lady Hoosiers stopped the Lady Buckeyes 83-59.
Hey, it's one thing that my men's and women's Hoosiers are just dominating the competition.
They're showing that they want to be a force to be reckoned with on the courts. Also, this was on Monday yesterday. Iowa State takes down 17th ranked Texas in a good game, 66-61 the final. We don't have any games coming on tonight, but that doesn't mean the action's not stopping because tomorrow we got 4 big games coming up tomorrow night. Let's talk about those. Starting off up in UConn at the XL Center, the Lady Huskies take on. Try to defend their 6th rank against Creighton tomorrow night. Tip off at 7 Eastern.
Absolutely. We also got Villanova. They're gonna play against St. John's tomorrow.
Yep. And also Oklahoma, the Lady Sooners will be playing host to the Red Riders of Texas Tech over in Oklahoma. And then in the main events tomorrow night, the Iowa Hawkeyes will play host to the Badgers of Wisconsin at 6:30. A lot of big games. And
let me say something real quick, because I think that we've seen a lot of action. I saw that game between LSU and South Carolina. I do smell a rematch coming because something tells me they're gonna play against each other again in the SEC tournament.
Best believe if the Lady Tigers can iron out their kinks, we might be getting the rematch that we kind of wish happened between Holyfield and Tyson.
Also, there's some breaking news on the men's side.
Who has their headset going?
I don't have a headset on. I don't know what.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I think, let me say something. Because I think, let me also add in that we're still in February, but we're still seeing these upsets happen. And I'm sorry, Brandon, but we're going to see a lot more 69 scores coming up this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've already had 3 already in a row, so don't be surprised if we have another week.
All right. I'm going to start on this. We're going to move on here because we're trying to get constricted with time. Let's head on to MLB because spring training's coming up, and I can actually now confirm this. This is straight from the head office of the MLB. This is now going to be in effect starting off in spring training. We're actually going to have a timer now, boys.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and here's how it's going to work. Here's how it's going to work. This is straight from the head brass themselves. Pitcher timer rules are in effect. Starting off with this: if the bases are empty, meaning start of the inning, you got 15 seconds, 15 to swing it, or else you're going to get an automatic ball or strike. If you got a runner on base, it is 20 seconds. In between hitters, it's 30. And hitters get one timeout per plate appearance. So they're taking a rule straight from the home run derby there. And like I said, violators, if they do not make their shots in those time limits, they are getting an automatic ball or strike, depending on who gets the violation.
So basically, what they're doing is they're trying to speed up the game.
Also, we also got some more news. This is from Jesse Rogers of ESPN. This is breaking news. MLB's Joint Competition Committee has voted unanimously to make the extra innings rules permanent for all regular season games moving forward. That means whenever we get to a free baseball, a runner will be placed at second base at the start of every inning.
Good. Oh,
taking that rule from the World Baseball Classic itself.
Indeed. Speaking of the World Baseball Classic, we are, like I said, we're about to get to that special time of the year.
Yeah, starting on March 7th.
I actually had a chance to talk about this. The Joint Competition Committee has been talking about position players in the MLB. Specifically, we might be seeing a universal designated hitter across both divisions, both leagues in Major League Baseball.
And we're getting new bases.
Oh yeah, due to all the controversies with determining who is safe or not, the Major League Baseball has confirmed that they will be increasing the size of the bases by about 5 or 6 inches to make things a little bit easier for base runners to make their shots or challenge plays to be more clearly.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this here now. There is no way they're gonna miss those bases.
Yeah.
No.
We're talking about the World Baseball Classic. Nestor Cortez opted out because of a hamstring problem, and the person that filled in for Nestor Cortez is Kyle Freeland of the Colorado Rockies.
Indeed, and safe to say this season, the 2023 MLB season, I do believe we're getting close to 175 in the illustrious history of Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Also, Cody, you're on the money with these updates. Thanks, man. This is from earlier today from Jesse Rogers, stating, and I quote: "There's a good chance more balks are going to be called this season. MLB is cracking down on coming to a full stop in order to make things clear for pitch clock operations and umpires, especially bouncing with that front leg is considered a balk." Thank Kevin Gaussman for that.
I'm pretty sure, gentlemen, that with the pitchers and catchers reporting, it's going to be stressed in, and they're stressing it out, saying, look, you're under a pitch count now. You no longer have all day to throw a pitch.
Yep. That's good. It's safe to say this is good. This could be an MLB season that we can actually start seeing some goodness in here, but we don't know for sure. Gonna have to wait to see what happens.
Now this should be able to spark some interest.
Hopefully.
In the sport.
Yeah, hopefully. And I'm gonna do a little bit of here. I'm gonna go international for a little bit because, well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna actually do one better. Hold on a minute.
Uh-oh.
You know.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, I can actually say this with pride in my heart.
Yes, the freaking, was it? The UCFS?
We are now entering the round of 16 for the Champions League.
Oh, shit.
Yep, the Champions League is finally hit single elimination, and we've already had a couple games going the full time so far today. Starting off with AC Milan takes down Tottenham Hotspur 1-0. Full time goes to AC Milan. And then later on tonight, Bayern Munich takes the win over PSG 1-0. 1-0. Safe to say, the round of 16 is going to. Safe to say, the eliminations is going to get very interesting on the road to the finals.
You know, the scary thing is that the heavy favorites are gone. Like, I don't say that Tottenham Hotspur is the favorite, but Jesus.
And here's the thing, though. Don't sleep on AC Milan, because remember, before Real Madrid had their big stretch, it was basically Inter and AC Milan dominating the Champions League.
Holy hell.
Between them, 10 titles. 10! Okay? Yeah, safe to say, and I know Hick is listening in on this. Keep your eyes peeled on the Champions League, and also I can actually talk about this because we've been listening to some news going on in the Premier League. Man City, you got some explaining to do.
What happened?
Because Man City says that Man City is under hot water due to an investigation. I can't give full information, but if they get hit with the hammer, that means every last championship that Man City has won, goodbye.
Oh, this is making head kids blood boil.
Are we talking about the fucking scandal that happened?
Yep.
With, Chicago.
It's like the same issue Chicago had with their scandal. If this actually turns out to be true, Premier League has been talking about giving up all 6 championships that Man City has won during that investigation. And for what we've heard, the 6 titles, they already knows who's going to be going towards if things happen, and that 3 goes to Man United, and the other 3 go to Liverpool.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not fun. Here it is. This. Thank you, Ray, for giving me that information on this. Here's what it says. This is the charges they got for the Premier League on Monday. Failure to give a true and fair view of the club's financial position. Failure to include details of managers and player payments. Breaches of continental and national financial regulations. And failure to cooperate and assist with Premier League investigations. Oh, dear.
Not to mention the recommendation that the club be expelled from the league.
Yeah, and suspension from playing league matches, points deduction, recommendation that the club is expelled from the league, cancellation or refusal of a player's registration, and a massive fine. Basically, Man City might be getting the death sentence.
This is the death sentence.
This is going to be much worse.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time, we'd love to continue on with this. We'll continue on next week. I think we might be thinking about going 2 hours. But let's finish it up. Yeah. Let's get back to the gridiron because, hey, football fans, the NFL season may be over. That doesn't mean your football taste is not done because this Sunday, I can officially say this, the XFL is back. Yeah, starting this Saturday, the 2023 XFL season will be kicking off loud and proud. There's going to be a lot of great games coming up in that one.
Not only that, but I've been hearing that the USFL is coming back too.
Yeah, the USFL is coming this April, believe it or not. And we can actually as soon as I find the schedule, damn it, here we go. We can actually say this: we already know the 8 teams that's going to be rocking and rolling in the XFL. Of course, we got the Battlehawks of Seattle, the Roughnecks of Houston.
That's the Battlehawks of St. Louis.
Yeah. Okay, Ray, my man, thank you. I think we might need you as a statistician for this shit.
Yeah, but
here are the 8 games that's going to be kicking off week 1 of the 2023 XFL season, starting off on ABC at 2:00 at Old Globe Life Field. The Allerton Renegades play host to the Vegas Vipers. Then at 7:30 on ESPN and FX, the Roughnecks of Houston play host to the Orlando Guardians. And then on Sunday on ABC, the Brahmas will play host to the St. Louis Battlehawks. And then at 8 o'clock on ESPN, the main event, it is the DC Defenders playing host to the Sea Dragons of Seattle.
I'm shocked to see that for the first time in decades, Epic is going to have sports on their networks.
Because remember, the last time they did it was the original XFL back in 2001.
Well, that was on ABC.
The original XFL was on NBC.
And UPN too.
And UPN. But and here's the so far they've already been worked. They've already got their players set up and ready to go. So best believe, find your team you want to root for and stick with it because you got 4 days to pick your favorites.
Now for old school XFL fans, this is not the XFL that Vince McMahon is owning. This is the XFL that The Rock is owning.
There's a big difference. The difference is they actually want to help out with football, not make it more entertaining.
Yeah.
Now, gentlemen,
right.
before we close up shop, we almost forgot. This weekend is the NBA All-Star Game weekend. It's All-Star.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. All-Star Weekend is this weekend, gentlemen. We're gonna have a lot of fun with that.
Hold up.
Oh, yeah.
There's one more thing. Before we close up shop. You said that you were talking about the XFL, but there's one other thing that's kind of overshadowed.
USFL?
That'd be the USFL.
That's true.
We spoke about the USFL. The USFL is coming up later on in April. They're playing in the hub.
What about
the hub? Hold on. The hub cities are Canton, Detroit, Birmingham, and Memphis.
Yep, those are your 4.
It's not going to help your franchise, you know. not going to help because you're only putting hot cities at your own. Not going to help.
Yeah,
but here's the thing, Louis. The reason why they're doing this is because they're still wanting to follow COVID protocol. Okay?
I get that.
I think I'm hoping next year the teams will be able to play in their actual home stadiums. Next year.
I think it might happen if it's continue to hold. We might be seeing the eight teams actually going back to their home stadiums.
I mean, if the XFL is doing it, then the USFL should at least follow suit.
I have a question for you guys. Have you guys seen what Utah's All-Star Game court looks like?
No, actually.
Oh God.
We'll discuss that before later. But we do have, but like we said, the All-Star Game is All-Star Weekend coming up this weekend in the NBA. I think we got the Rising Stars Challenge Friday.
Oh yeah, that's the first thing.
Yeah, that's following the Celebrity Game. By the way, I didn't know the Miz could play basketball.
He's going to be one of the members of the Celebrity Game.
People have been saying he's going to be prime Jordan. I don't think so.
But
just check out on that one.
Yeah, also Saturday, we got All-Star Saturday night, the slam dunk contest, the three-point contest, some kind of like skills.
Skills
competition.
Skills challenge.
Yeah, the skills challenge.
Speaking of the slam dunk contest, they revealed the participants. Yeah, speaking of the slam dunk contest, they revealed the participants.
Okay, who got the call?
Got the call for the slam dunk contest. It's Mac McClung of the Sixers, Trey Murphy III of your Pelicans, Jacob, Joseph Sims of the New York Knicks, and finally, Kenyon Martin Jr. of the Houston Rockets.
Wow, good lineup there for this year's slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a very great weekend in the NBA, the All-Star weekend. First of all, we want to thank our buddy Louis. He just left.
As always,
we want to thank our buddy Louis for calling in, and like we said, and we were saying this without fail, 4 to 6 every Saturday. Tune in, call in to his show, and tell him we sent you.
Definitely. Go check out the Enhanced Sports Podcast every Saturday, 4 to 6 Eastern. It's worth the listen because he could do a lot more with 2 hours than we can do with 90 minutes on the world of sports, and he reaches a far bigger palette than we can. As stated, give him a call at 512-543-4662. That is 512-543-4662 every Saturday, 4 to 6 Eastern. But we always give the warning. That show is more on the PG side, so mind the P's and keep your tongues clean.
Absolutely. Now,
Or if you don't
don't forget about our show because we be here every Tuesday.
I was about to get into that.
We be here every Tuesday from at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Feel free to call in 516-666-9955. That's 516-666-9955. Won't you be our guy? We thank you so much for tuning in.
Indeed. And it's about time for us to wrap up. It is last call at the bar. Mm-hmm. Carter, you know what to hit. And Carter did a good job on this one. We, as always, special thanks to Louis. Go check out his podcast, the Enhanced Sports Podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast. Look it up on the search bar. And always, we thank you so much for listening into the VWU Sports Podcast. And if you want to call in, go for it. Be like Louis. Be like our regulars. Come on down. We'd love to listen to you guys. As stated, 516-666-9955. We'd love to listen to you guys. We'd like to know what your questions are, what topics you want us to go over. And better yet, give us opinions. That will help us make this show not only great, but better. Okay? We would love to listen to you guys. And as Carter said, we are here every Tuesday, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Blog Talk Radio. Search us up. Look up the VWU Sports Podcast. Give us a follow. And if you want to listen to our past episodes, we got them on video on demand, not only on Blog Talk Radio, but we also got it on iHeartRadio and Spotify. This is just safe to say we are going to have fun with this until we can't stand it, and we haven't even hit the peak yet. We're about to hit.
We haven't even hit episode 69 yet.
But yeah, safe to say, 2023 is going to be insane to say the least. We already got a new Super Bowl champion. Off-season's going on. Gentlemen, this has been one heck of a ride, but we're just getting started because y'all can hear it as well. The madness is coming. Ooh,
Madness, March Madness.
March Madness is coming, and safe to say it's going to get wild and crazy, both on the men and the women's side. Baseball season's about to start spring training. NHL's in their second act, and the NBA is about to hit All-Star Weekend, and the XFL is about to kick off. All we can say is thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast. We will see you guys next week where we will talk about week 1 of the XFL, the All-Star Weekend with the NBA, and so much more. But until then, we got to go. For Brandon, for Carter, for Jose, and for Cody, I'm JB. We love you so much. We will see you guys next week. Have a lovely Valentine's Day, and have a good night, everybody.
Have a fun time with your others.
Woo! Next Tuesday.